Hey, how's it going? Welcome back. Sunday, the weather outside's crappy. Got a crock pot of chili going in the kitchen. I figured, why not make a video? I dragged out a box of old punk singles, did a little revisiting, because sometimes it's healthy to do a little revisiting. And I'm going to share some of those with you, just because I can. So we'll start off with a band that is certainly no stranger to fans of the Killed by Death genre. They're from Houston, Texas. Plastic Idols. So the Einstein Experience 7-inch was released on Vision Records in 1980. This is simple, well executed, kind of punchy punk rock with keyboards. There's 3 tracks on this. You got Einstein Experience, you got Uncircumcised Twin, and you have Siamese Lust. Not a loser in the bunch. This would most likely be among my top 10 favorite early US punk 7-inches. This is great. Just can't get enough of it. Yeah, so if that sounds like something that you'd be into, Plastic Idols, definitely worth checking out. Now we'll stay in 1980, but on Cocoon Records. It's a band called Moths. It's magazine look, backed with Driving Bores Me. This is synth-driven, kind of punk-ish new wave. The use of the synth creates kind of an urgent tension, kind of an anxiety, which I find kind of desirable. There is a saxophone interlude in one of the tracks that, I could do without, but it's passable. Vocally, it's very late 70s punk. Guy kind of sounds kind of flamboyantly robotic at times, if that makes sense. Super good. This is one of those bands that I wish someone would, unearth like a lost recording or something and put it out there, because I would love to hear more of what they did, and there has to be more. But until then, this is the only 2 songs that seem to exist, so I'll have to do with that. So yeah, Moths, magazine look. Now we'll go to New Orleans, Louisiana. It's a band called the Manic Depressives, Silence on the Radio. It's on the Vinyl Solution label from 1980. This is really, again, really well done early punk rock. At times it kind of borders on early, the first incarnations of hardcore maybe. But that's fleeting at best. There is a definite Clash influence here. Truth be told, I'm not a giant Clash fan, but there's not enough of that influence on here to make it off-putting for me in any way. This is still really, really good. I bought this years and years ago off a guy on eBay that was selling a few copies. It turned out he was the dude behind Vinyl Solution Records. I think he also played in the band. And I believe he told me that at one point Vinyl Solution was a brick and mortar store, if I recall correctly, anyways, which I might not because I am old as fuck. But yeah, the Manic Depressives, Silence on the Radio. Now we'll go to New Haven, Connecticut. It's a band called Saucers. Now, Saucers featured Craig Bell, who was also in Rocket from the Tombs. I believe he was in Pere Ubu for a time as well. This is well done, very very rock and roll influenced punk, but there was like an arty edge to it, kind of an experimental edge at points. The vocals kind of, sound very sarcastic to me. 3 tracks: What We Do, I Didn't Get It, and Muckraker. I'm kind of surprised people don't talk about this band more, but whatever. Such is the way of the world. It's on Orange Records, 1979. Now we got another one from 1979, but on Spy Records, and Spy and IRS. It's the Necessaries. You Can Borrow My Car, backed with Runaway Child, Miners Beware. This is from New York City, produced by John Cale. Basically a power pop band. Just a pretty good one. I like the A side a lot more than the B side. So the B side's a good song. It's not as memorable as You Can Borrow My Car. Yeah, it's pretty good. They have an LP as well, which I've never actually heard, but if I ever see it, I'll pick it up just because. So yeah, if you like power pop, you'll probably like the Necessaries. And we go to Michigan. A band called Coldcock. It's 1979. It's on what is it? IDBI Records. Uh, this band features members from the Sillies and the Ramrods. Really good. I know for sure the A side, I Want to Be Rich, has been comped. It's kind of a plodding track, just kind of like meanders along, but not so much that it gets boring. It's really good. Uh, Vocalist sounds really, he's got kind of a bleak delivery on it, kind of a hopeless kind of tone to his voice, which, judging by the lyrics of the song, is exactly the way it was supposed to be. The B side, You're a Mess, is up tempo and approaches, like early hardcore, levels of speed at least. Very, very good. But yeah, Coldcock. Again, that's one that's probably a little better known out there. We'll stay in 1979. It's a band from Long Island, New York. The Slugs. Problem Child, backed with Suspicion. It's on Whiplash Records. This band featured Rick Rivets, who was the first guitar player for the New York Dolls. He was the guy that got replaced by Sylvain Sylvain. And this band, the A side at least, Problem Child, it sounds like it could be, a long lost New York Dolls track or whatever. Just doesn't seem to have like kind of the charisma, I guess, of the New York Dolls, but it's super good, really good. The B side, Suspicion, is more of it's more of a dirge. It's slow and it's actually heavy. So I mean, the two tracks quite a bit different, but also both totally acceptable. So yeah, the Slugs. This is the first pressing of it. The first pressing of both their singles was just released in a regular sleeve, but then later both of them got put together as a package with a sleeve. But if you got the first pressing, it's just a generic sleeve. All right, now we go to Boston, 1982. It's a band called Monad. Now, I'd never heard of this band before, but somewhere in my internet travels, I happened upon the drummer who was just offering to give copies away. And if you gave your address to him, he would send you one. I kind of thought he's full of shit, but he sent me one. Very arty, kind of like you can hear some Residents in there, but you can also hear some Devo. There's a lot of like weird time signature changes and just stylistic changes within the music. Very weird art punk band, but pretty goddamn good. Self-released by the band on Monad Music. The record's called Love Is the Lesson. So yeah, Monad, one of those unknown Boston bands, I guess. Now we got one from Hawaii. It's the fucking Flyin A-Heads, Swiss Cheese Back, on Otaro Records. It's from 1980. It's live. This band is a wall of noise. It's more outsider music than actual punk rock. Like I said, it's a wall of noise. They sound like a jam band, just with where they just turned everything up way louder than it should be. If this was actually performed live in front of people, they probably ran out the fucking door to get away. Super crazy, just a super weird obscurity from 1980 Hawaii. So yeah, the fucking Flying A-Heads, Otaro Records, 1980. Now we go to Alaska on Red Sweater Records, also from 1980. It's the Anemic Boyfriends. It's Guys Are Not Proud, backed with Bad Girls in Love. Like I said, on Red Sweater Records, got the hand stamped sleeve. There's a rarer sleeve that exists. It's like a red photocopied sleeve with a picture on it. But most of the copies you see will be this. Their stuff's all been re-released by Hozak Records in the last couple of years. Uh, Very amateurish, somewhat inept, rock and roll based early punk. Singer's name was Louise Disease, which is pretty awesome. Um, the A side, Guys Are Not Proud. It's got kind of a reggae slash dub thing going on, which I'm not a real huge fan of. It's all right. Uh, but Bad Girls in Love, that's just pure sloppy early punk goodness. So, yeah, the Anemic Boyfriends. Next, we're going to Austin, Texas from 1979 on Classified Records. It's a band called Standing Waves. It's their early warning 7-inch. This is really good, you know, synthy punk rock, uh, catchy, well written, memorable. I have their second 7-inch as well, and it's way more synth heavy and kind of way more over the top with the synths than this is. But I mean, Early Warning and No Judy, both these tracks, awesome. So yeah, Standing Waves, check that shit out. Austin, Texas, 1979. And now we're going to Fort Lauderdale, Florida. It's a band called the Spanish Dogs. It's called Don't Sweat the Petty Things, Pet the Sweaty Things. It's on Rasta Dog Records. It's from 1982. This is kind of half and half record for me. The there's like, there's a song on it like 1990. The song, the track, it's kind of like a almost a proto-industrial track. I mean, like, Your Daughter is kind of a power pop thing, not too far removed from you know other Florida bands like the Cichlids or Screaming Sneakers, maybe. But there's also some kind of reggae influenced tracks, or basically just reggae tracks. And reggae is actually one of my most disliked styles of music. I can't get on board with it. I don't like it, so it kind of ruins it for me. But the songs on here that are more up my alley are really good. And that guy's haircut, that's a beautiful fro there. So yeah, Spanish Dogs. That's it. Actually, there's one I found in the box. It's not a punk record, but I always kind of forget that I have it. It's because it's kind of funny. Now, I'm not a Beatles guy at all. A couple songs, whatever, I could deal with them. Not a Beatles collector. I don't even own any Beatles records. This is the only Beatles related thing that I have. But it's the Plastic Ono Band, Remember Love and Give Peace a Chance. But it's the most ironic record that I own because Give Peace a Chance, somebody's taken a bite out of it with a bloody mouth. So apparently, that person probably didn't give Peace a chance. It's the only reason I've kept this, just because that's pretty hilarious to me, but it's super weird. I don't know. Anyways, that's it for what I got. I will do kind of an update now, though. Last video, I said I would do a draw for people to win a free copy of the Silicon Heartbeat 7-inch. I have 2 copies of it to send. And I've had people in the comments do as I asked. If you have posted something and I haven't responded to you, then get a hold of me on my Instagram, which is just Uncommon Paler. It's all lowercase, all one letter, or all one word rather. Because I remember when I did my 100 subscribers contest, people actually posted on my in my comments that they had done an entry, but the comment didn't come up. So I don't want to miss anybody this time. So if I haven't responded to you and you've actually put a comment in there, it's because I can't see the comment. So if you're one of those people, then contact me on my Instagram, because I definitely will respond to every comment. So yeah. Anyways, have a fantastic rest of your weekend, and I'm out of here. Bye.